Hello guys, and welcome to that's my dog. You see me screaming, that's my dog, literally. Hello guys, and welcome to the channel. I hope that you are doing good, hoping that you are great. Costa, you see the t-shirt that I'm wearing, Costa. You guys, you don't want us to sleep on the group, nah? You keep talking and talking badly about us, but it's fine. It's fine. You see this t-shirt, member?
No,
Hey, you must respect Arsenal.
yeah, no, no. I can see it. I can see it. No, each and every each dog has its day.
Hmm.
So we can leave it at that. Each dog has its day. So yeah,
Um,
enjoy it, enjoy it. In this um in football,
mhm.
those days they don't last long. But enjoy it,
But I
enjoy
think
it, member.
you must give credits. I think Arsenal has been amazing. Stop the jealousy. Just give credits. So far, so
No, they
good.
have they No, they have been honestly. Dating back from last season, you could see what Arteta was building there. So
I
it's no surprise that they are this consistent,
I remember.
and
I
also they're
see.
looking the part.
Arsenal. But Arsenal.
Yeah,
Let's jump to the news of the
yeah,
day.
yeah. No, let's move on.
Um, Orlando
Yeah,
Pirates is battling with Stellenbosch for the services of the Polokwane City right back, Thabang Matuludi, and both clubs have
yeah,
inquired about this 25. I think he was born on the 14th of January. I think I checked 1999. So
yeah,
he's 25 years old, and they're saying that both Orlando Pirates and Stellenbosch have inquired about this player, who is said to have also made it on the radar of the Bafana Bafana coach, Hugo Bruce. And I see a lot of people, when I talk about this player, they talk about Mutao. They say it reminds them of Mutao somewhere, somehow. So, what is your take, member? Because
yeah,
we've had these conversations, and I did come out to say, hey, Monyane, Nolibito, for me, I don't really think that they are really good defensively. Like you also said, they should compete with Saleng on that right wing
yeah,
position. I think in terms of the defensive
yeah,
abilities, they kind of like this is the same player that was battling with Mufokeng, if you remember well. I think this is him.
yeah,
You know, so, yeah, man, member,
yeah.
let's get to it, man, member. What is your take on the player? And we'll also touch a bit on Van Rooyen afterwards, and then we'll close the video. But what do you think? Do you think it's a good thing that Pirates is looking for a right back, or just Papa Sinauma right back, or I don't know. What's your take on this one?
Well, member, I think it would be first and foremost. I'd like to greet you,
Mm-hmm.
and also greet Bakania and fans at large. So no, member, I think it would be naive of Pirates not to think of that position, because let's be honest,
Mm-hmm.
we had crisis there not so long ago. Right now, we look like we are better because we had to go to the transfer market. We had that opportunity to bring in Libito, and then also we had Munyane coming back. You understand? So
Mm.
I think it would be very naive of us thinking that now we still have Shandu to come back, therefore we are set. I don't think so. I think this would be a good acquisition for the team. So just a few things that I when I look at him,
Mm-hmm.
what attracts me personally to him.
Mm-hmm.
Firstly, he is standing at 1.86 meter, or 1.8, actually. Let's just say 1.8 meter.
Yeah.
So he's a tall boy. He's a tall boy, and if you look at our defense, mostly our wing back and right back on both sides, we don't have someone who is in that height,
Mm.
because
Mm.
let's be
Mm.
honest, in a game of football you will have to deal with set pieces, so that height comes in handy. And then
Remember.
also,
I'm
yeah,
sorry. When you talk about heights, you
yeah,
just reminded me of what Hugo Bruce.
yeah.
Did you hear what Hugo Bruce said about Jojo? We'll cover it tomorrow.
No,
But
unfortunately
he's
I missed it.
complaining
I
about the
missed it.
height.
I'll
He
look
says
into it.
that it should be a requirement when you
Yeah,
want to play football. If you come at that
yeah,
height, there must be something extraordinary
yeah,
about you. You must not be like all the
yeah,
others. So hey, let's continue.
Yeah,
We'll cover that one tomorrow
true,
because hey, that's a big statement. So
true.
it means it's difficult. It's gonna be difficult for
Yeah,
Njonjo to play for a national team then, especially now because he's not really
yeah.
good.
No, yeah, yeah. And also, if you look at just before we move quickly
Mm-hmm.
on that one,
Yeah.
and also if you look at Africans, like African countries, if you look at their midfield, no one is that short.
Mm.
Even Naby Keita is taller than him, much taller than him actually.
Mm.
So yeah,
He'll bully
I
him.
hear where Hugo Bruce. Yeah, I hear where Hugo Bruce is coming from, but nonetheless, let's move on from that one. Remember,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
so
Let's continue.
the boy is tall. He's even taller than Mayela.
Mm.
Mayela is standing at 1.76 meter, and he is standing at 1.8. So he's taller than Mayela, and then also he's 25 years old. Now let's look at the players that we have in that position. So
Mm.
we've got Shandu,
Yes.
who's 29 years old, and then we've got Umunyane, who is 23 years old. Um, and then we've got Ulibitso, who I think is 29 years old as well. Or is it?
Yes.
I think
Yeah, let
32.
me just quickly
No, I
check.
think
There
32.
was there was 28 and
Yeah,
31, 32 now. Yes, 32.
yeah,
82.
yeah. So now remember now, when you sign a player, you need to look at the long term. He's 25 years old. He hasn't
Mm.
reached his peak yet. So why not? You know, why not? So on my side, I'm thinking that we need him. He will definitely be a good fit. As I've touched on the attributes that he has, besides playing, because if we speak of playing, we don't have to look far. He came up against Mufukeng, and
Mm.
according to me, he played Mufukeng out of the game. So that should tell you, if that should tell you, if ever he's able to do that. I know Mufukeng had a an incident with him, so to speak, whereby he ball, but unfortunately the keeper saved it. But only that incident that I can remember, where Mofokeng had a nice time, so to speak,
Mm.
against him.
So he's a good player, and you are
Yeah,
agreeing with this
uh,
because some people are
yeah,
saying why. So you're saying he's a good player. We should go for him.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, he's a good player. He's even good at going forward. He
Mhm.
puts in decent crosses. So yeah, I think it would be a good acquisition from the club.
Me, I don't have a problem. I think it's good. And let me just go through some of the comments because, like I said, I've heard seen some
Yeah,
people talking about some resemblance with Khuliso. I see
sure.
Toli Ayabulela
Mudau.
says a Khuliso Mudau like for like, a gem this one. I used to think that he's from
Yeah,
Botswana because Sundowns didn't consider him when they needed a right back, And I see TG saying with the Pirates do not need any player at the moment, or they want to be like Sunflower. I don't know what that is supposed to mean. And Lisibana says the management must act quickly. This boy is a jam. And while we are on that, member, I want
yeah,
us to quickly also touch on Dien Van Roy. Oh, sorry if I'm calling his name wrong. But let me check
yeah,
on YouTube. Let me check on YouTube if there's
yeah.
any
Dion.
comment. Is there anyone who commented here? No, there's no comment here. The people are just watching. So let's talk about Van Rooyen, member. He is another player that is linked with Pirates. So
Yes.
one thing that I can be certain of is that Pirates is looking for a right back. Pirates has realized
Yes.
they're not blind. I think they have seen Guti. We do have right wing backs, but they're not really right backs. Like they can't really defend. They're not good defensively. Maybe it's time to go and look for a right back, a proper right back. And let's talk about Van Rooyen. Remember, this is the player that I was always talking about ever
Yes.
since. When I talk about Stellenbosch players, I talk about Van Rooyen, I talk about Van Veek. I think those are great players, but then again, it's
Yes.
Pirates, Angaz, man. What do you think about Van Rooyen? And who would you choose between the two if I had to put you to take one?
Mhm. On the spot. Um, so with Dion van Rooyen, that one as well is a very good player. I think he, besides him being the captain of Stellenbosch,
Mhm.
um, yes, he would bring that aspect to Pirates if he were to come. Just besides his playing attributes, him being a leader, you know. Um, I think if I were to choose between the two,
Mm-hmm.
I'd go with Matuludi.
Matuludi,
Yeah,
ne?
I'd go with Matuludi. Yeah, I'd go with him. So the reason why I'd go with Matuludi is because when I look at our at that right back position, we've
Mm.
got, you know, short players, so to speak. Not short, but not tall either. So Matuludi then comes with a different dynamic, you know, in terms of that. And actually, I think if we were to even try and play a back three
Mm.
with a right-footed center back, I think
Ah.
he would fit in there. But I know that there's people out there of which you can't dispute their views that
Mm-hmm.
converting players, it's not always good, you know.
Not
It
always
doesn't
good.
always work well.
True.
Yeah, it doesn't work well, be it for the player or for the club itself, you know.
Mm.
So yeah, but nonetheless, he's a player that we can do that with him.
Before I close the video, let me just look at the comment. Tembani,
Yeah,
yes, Tembani Nyati says, Nick, do we really need him? He says that which position is that Polokwane City guy? He's a right back, right wing back. Now, modern football, we call them right wing backs, remember, because they can't really stay at the back. They have to go forward,
yeah,
especially if it's a team like Pirates. I see
yeah.
that there's 62 of you. Thank you so much, guys, who are watching right now. Do we really need the player member? Like, do we need a right back? Because we're talking about the end of the season, obviously.
And I think remember, if you look at that right back right now, we've got three. Right,
Mm.
we've got Libitzo who can play there. We've got Munyane, and then we've got Shandu. So now, when it comes to a need, I think I wouldn't say we need him,
Mm-hmm.
but also it's not a position that we want to lack in, because we saw we were playing Makaringe there and
Mm.
we were found out. I know it was not his fault
Yeah.
entirely. I just think that the back four, remember now, when you change a player, it's not only about what the player brings, it's also about the synergy of the defensive players. They need to complement each other. They need to know that, okay, when he goes up, this is how we need to look at the back. When he is back, this is how we need to look. When he's being attacked on his side, who needs to go and cover him? You know, all those kind of things. Those are things that are not
Not
spoken
spoken
on the
about.
field
Ne?
of play.
Mm.
They come with understanding. Yeah, they come with understanding between players. So in us saying that we need him,
Mm-hmm.
maybe not really,
We
especially now
don't.
that we have Ulibito. Not unless the coach then decides to say, okay, I've got those three. Now I
Mm.
will, because Shandu is defensively, is more defensively responsible, if I can put it that way. And then
Yeah.
um, you've got Umunyane. Maybe he can say, okay, Munyane, go forward and compete with Saleng, you know.
Saleng. Yeah.
And then now you've got two, and then you get Matuludi. And Pirates is a big team. Competition will always be there. I remember at some point, even in other positions years back, we would have five players in one position, you know.
Mm.
So it wouldn't be a new thing having four. So even the coach can be dynamic in how he sets up his team. He can say, you know what, I'll have Munyane going forward. I will have him up when I play him. I'll have him up, just like Hoto would sometimes. You would
Yeah.
see
Sometimes, yes.
Mayela playing at left back, and then you have Hoto up front. So, uh, and if you look at Munyana, he has a good technique when it comes to shooting. So it shows you that naturally he's not a right back. So maybe the coach can make yeah. So maybe the coach can make that decision.
No, member. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for today. Thank you guys for joining us. I'm going to close it with the comment. the comments and then I'm closing the video. There's not enough time anymore. ZZ Ina. Sorry if I'm calling your surname wrong there. He says that Pirates has enough players now unless they are about to release our favorite loyal players. Mswenko Hanets says we don't need him at all. Amos Kalela, thank you so much, Amos. I'm closing with your comment. Amos says Matuludi must be signed. He's very good going forward, and he's a natural right back, and he packs a powerful shot, and he scores goals too. That is how Amos is saying, member Wuti is not just a defender. He also has a shot in him. He's also good offensively, and defensively he's a natural right back. So we should go for him.
Yeah, and he's good in the air because if you look at the goal that he scored against Richards Bay, I think it was a free kick if it was not a corner. He rose well, and he can use his head. He knows how to use his head. So I guess maybe Rivero wants to have a player that can be able to add in terms of goals going forward.
No, member, thank you so much for tonight. We will continue the discussions going forward. I see now, I don't want to skip the comments. Apiwe Stimela says Pirates must get the Polokwane guy at that number 2. Ganti, what happened to Mako? Mako is still recovering from injury. John Hayes for 666. With that being said, ladies and gents, thank you so much for tuning in with me and Kusta. We are out. Danko is thank you, Vafi.